Hello, I'm here today to talk about older adults and keeping our older adults engaged at home. But first, I want to thank all of our viewers and everyone who's watching this today who's taking care of a loved one, an older adult anywhere, whether they live in a facility or they're living at home. It's always hard and difficult in these times, especially, to be an advocate. Whether you're a daughter, a son, a spouse, being an advocate is hard. And so I'm here today to kind of give you some tips on how to care for an older adult living in their own home or their newly owned home, whatever it is, one they've lived in their whole life or even a new one, and how to keep them engaged and how to not have them get so bored, especially at times like this, where we're really trying to keep them at home for safety reasons during COVID-19 and the pandemic. So what are some tips? Well, number one that everyone's really thought about across the country is getting them pet therapy, is adopting them with a pet, or if it's too much on them, bringing a pet to them and bringing someone they'd really love, a cat, a dog, something they've identified with in their past. However, I do suggest that bringing the pet to them, if you are going to do it, keep it on the same day to keep that structure. So if you're going to do this on Mondays, keep it on Monday so they have that Monday to always look forward to see Lucy or Sam or whoever the animal's name is, and really look forward to that. Number two, another idea is to really stay away from TV, especially the news. The news is repetitive, it causes that glazed over look because we've been hearing it all day long, and just on the TV so long is not always healthy. Commercials kind of switch our attention, and movies are more appropriate, especially really those wonderful classics that a lot of them have really enjoyed. So try to engage with mom or dad or whoever you're caring for and say, what are some favorite movies you loved? Do you like the History Channel? Do you like the Cooking Channel? Do you like the Home Buying Channel? Whatever it is, get them engaged in something that's interesting, and then make sure you're posting what time that channel comes on if there is a timing issue, or how to log on to the YouTube channel or whatever you're using for your older adult. It could be cable, it could be anything. But either if they don't have a caregiver, really engage with them on this issue and how to do it. You may even want a reminder call, like, Mom, it's Tuesday and this is the day that this show's gonna be on with your favorite movie. But keep it engaging and keep those movies available and accessible. And movies are great in that they don't have a lot of commercials usually, and they really have a plot and a way for them to remember just some really fun times associated with that movie. Number three, I think it's super critical to involve music. And music doesn't have to be live. It could be even if you have a grandchild or someone in the family that plays music, they have a portable keyboard, a violin, whatever the instrument is, showing up on the patio and playing, even through the window, but keeping them active in a way that they can listen to this music, and make sure you're asking your friend, your older adult, your loved one, hey, what is your favorite music? You don't want to start playing AC/DC and they really love Beethoven. So ask them what their favorite music is and try to reach out to someone who plays live music. But after live music, I would really reach out to Alexa, Siri, whoever, and get them that product that can play music and their favorite tunes. With my own mom, I did get her an Alexa, and we've really reviewed over and over, Mom, how do you use the Alexa? And she knows now, and she says, Alexa, play. Her favorite is Frank Sinatra. So she usually now goes to Frank Sinatra's best hits and just loves that and really enjoys that. So I think music is critical, and turning off the TV and turning on the music is really going to make a difference. After music, we all look at nutrition, especially gerontologists such as myself. When we do see older adults, especially with dementia, we worry about what they're eating while they're at home. And if they just have mild cognitive impairment and they really want to be at home longer, they do need to pay attention to their own nutrition. and what they're eating and when they're eating and are they eating. So one way to really structure the nutrition cycle is to add Meals on Wheels. And I'm a big supporter of Meals on Wheels. I feel it's more than just a meal, although they've really improved over the last 10 years. They're amazing. But they also have a volunteer coming to the home, dropping off the meal, even just saying hello. It is critical. And the Meals on Wheels donation is very small. And I do feel it's very appropriate. So even if they don't like Meals on Wheels and they say, no, I never eat that, whatever, say, Mom, let's just try it. And it might just be important to have that socialization and try your best to convince your family to try this. Meals on Wheels is critical. There are other meal programs that also deliver, but again, they don't have that friendly visitor. They may just have Amazon delivering, which they're friendly too, but it's not the same engagement. So I do feel Meals on Wheels is a better choice. Lastly, I just wanted to touch a little bit on crossword puzzles. And are puzzles even great anymore? Puzzles are important, and there are some larger piece puzzles to put together. And if your loved one liked puzzles when they were younger, they'll probably like puzzle pieces now. So I would engage with them and ask them, what are your favorite pictures or portraits? What kind of puzzle would you want to do? Because you don't want to get them a 1,000-piece puzzle when you know it's probably a little much. Start with a smaller piece puzzle. And then if they did like crossword puzzles that were in the newspaper, you might want to go buy the large print crossword puzzles and try with an easier version and then move them on up. But those are still critical for the brain. And beyond that, I do want to mention the importance of the newspaper. You may think the newspaper's outdated, it's no longer needed. It truly is needed for older adults. They usually had the newspaper when they were younger, and the date alone on the newspaper and the current events, usually on that panel on the side, is so important for them to read. And if they aren't reading or they are visually impaired, having someone read it to them is important too. And that brings me to my final point. If you have family members or volunteers who can read to them, if they are visually impaired with macular degeneration, retinitis pigmentosa, glaucoma, whatever the issue is, try your best to connect phone calling to that. And you may want mom and dad to put it on speaker, but they can read the newspaper to them. Even if it's a half an hour a day, that is really critical to keep them up to date. And they do like the newspaper. Another point is if you have an iPad, try to get them to maybe watch some YouTubes from some great voiceover actors like Dina Sherman out of the Valley. I think she's in LA. She reads beautiful storybooks that are and her voice is so funny. It's so cute. A lot of older adults really like listening to her or watching her on the YouTube. So really try your best to reach out to these creatives and people in your family who might possibly have the time to volunteer for mom or dad who may be staying at home more and may be locked up inside a little more because of COVID. So I hope this has helped you, and I just hope and pray that all our older adults stay really safe at home.